What is up, blockchain gang? This is the Daniel Draghi Show, where nearly 10,000 tortured Terrans are tired of playing too much to earn too little. Scam projects, rug pulls, hacks, bots, exploiters, unbeatable investment firms, and dishonesty among developers are running this play-to-earn space directly into the ground, as I covered in a recent video. I've come up with some ideas that could be implemented by anyone on nearly any project, but I highly doubt anyone will, so I may just have to do it myself. I hope your feet are feeling warm right now, because this project is about to knock your motherfucking socks off. Hurry up and go put some socks on while the intro rolls. Or don't you know?
That's the sound of the man working on the chain. Gang. That's the sound of the man working on the chain. Gang. And you even said, ooh, ah.
For starters, I am not developing a project currently. I am not seeking investment. I began researching what it would take in order to do so a few weeks ago, and started talking with some people who claim to be experts. Their words, not mine. Nevertheless, they are undoubtedly more experienced than I am. I have had mixed reactions, so I thought, why not go public with my ideas and see what the actual players think? I believe that if play-to-earn games continue down this path, it has a very dark future that doesn't bode well for the entertainment industry as a whole. I also believe that if a project came along that kicked all of their asses in player rewards based on skill, loyalty, investment, and time spent in equal fashion, it would put pressure on all the other developers to part with a larger portion of their profits. First, before I can explain the plan at this stage, I want to compare the blockchain to the internet. In order to interact with the internet in any way, let's say you would have to pay a fee. You would have one fee for sending an email, and another fee for playing a video game, and another fee for watching a video like this one. Thank you, by the way. And these fees would be based on how many other people are doing the exact same thing at that very moment. What if you could pay one fee for anything you want to do? This fee buys you a number of action points, like energy in a mobile game that recharges over time. When you run out of energy and you still have stuff to do, you can wait until it comes back, or you can buy more. Only instead of spending money on this energy, we're actually staking tokens that we could unstake at any time. So we're not really spending anything to use the internet in the first place. Instead of rewarding stakers with tokens that inflate the economy, it is staking to reduce the fees to essentially nothing. We are staking collateral instead of paying fees here. This is how the WEX blockchain works, and there are many more interesting and complicated features of it, such as voting, or having a cloud wallet with public keys, or an anchor wallet with private keys that allow you to store your assets off-chain. But since video game ecosystems require a player to make hundreds or thousands of transactions per year, this saves them a huge portion of their earnings and is a key component to this project. Projects that have been unable to scale with their current systems have created very unique ways to bypass these transaction fees, which also makes them vulnerable to hacks or exploits, such as in the Ronin Axie hack recently. Next, we have Wax's integrated atomic NFT marketplace. This is peer-to-peer, meaning that you can place buy or sell orders without a market address, which cuts the amount of transactions with the blockchain further in half by removing the middleman. You can even make offers on other people's listed items or hold your own auctions. The only fee for this is the royalty fee imposed by the creator when minted, between 0 and 16%. My vision is a not-for-profit, free-to-play, play-to-earn project that provides earning and trading mechanisms for players of the most popular, competitive, non-pay-to-win online video games. 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit is the internal body temperature of a healthy human being. I believe it's possible to reward human players with 98.6% of all tokens from playing their favorite games. This is compared to most projects that only reserve 60 to 80% of all tokens for their players, and much of that isn't even from playing the game itself. Examples of these games would include League of Legends, Fortnite, Call of Duty Warzone, Dota 2, Apex Legends, CSGO, Paladins, Halo Infinite, and any new video games that release in the future without play-to-earn capabilities that fall into this category, such as an RTS or fighting games. The goal is not to make anyone insanely wealthy, but allow everyone to enjoy the time they spend playing video games more due to consistent real-life rewards. The truth is that it doesn't actually cost all that much money to do this kind of stuff, but it does cost a metric shit ton of money to pay a bunch of people who pretend to know more than they actually do about these things, such as market sentiment and the Fibonacci sequence. Instead, I'm focused on security and customer service. This project would be nearly 100% powered by the end users in order to prevent bad actors and reward voluntary participation in keeping the community free of bots, hackers, and exploiters. We don't want to keep whales from enjoying the services, but we do have strict limits on how much players can earn based upon their investments relative to free players, while rewarding loyalty and in-game rank as well. This is done with the 4-part security system I'll cover now. 1. Unique prize pool distribution that emphasizes fun and fair competition. 2. Invitation-only system of recruitment, not a pyramid scheme or MLM. 3. Volunteer validators to prevent cheating. 4. Daily verified payouts to ensure only humans are compensated with rewards. Prize pool. Players join by creating a Wax wallet for free and obtaining their very own virtual PC by invitation only. More on that later. This is an entry-level PC for free players and has the lowest amount of power, or hash rate. The components of this VPC, such as the graphics card, processor, and RAM, can be upgraded by acquiring NFTs, which can be purchased with watts from the store or with Wax on the NFT marketplace from other players. In order to power anything above the entry-level PC, players will be required to stake the corresponding amount of watts. So if you get a fat new graphics card that increases your hash rate, it will require staking the corresponding watts in order to power it up, like upgrading the power supply of your real PC. Watts can also be staked in the voting and invitation pools. Every day, new missions for each game are acquired. Players report their completion of the missions and are ranked by their VPC's power or hash rate, in-game rank, and loyalty level in order to determine their share of the payout of the daily prize pool. I know that there are many different types of gamers, and playing to earn should add to our enjoyment and not change the way we play or detract from it. Too often, devs create a work to earn or bot to earn economy where the tasks are so mindless and repetitive in order to earn that nobody wants to do them, which creates the demand for workers and bots in the first place. In order to remain accessible to as many players as possible and not bots, these rewards are distributed in a very unique way. Each time you complete missions, you'll gain experience and increase your account's loyalty level, which is added to your virtual PC's hash rate to grant you a higher ranked reward each day. On Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, missions will be targeted at casual play. Rewards are largely based upon player loyalty and power of their virtual PC. On Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, we turn up the heat by doubling the prize pool. These missions will revolve around ranked play, and the rewards will be skewed to people with the highest skill and loyalty, with NFTs only playing a minor role. Sunday, we go absolutely nuts with 5 times the rewards, and luck is the only thing that matters. Complete any of the silly missions available for your chance at an absolutely absurd payday. The reward pool is based upon how many players complete a mission that day. 10 tokens per player will be added to the pool, and 2 tokens will be added to the market fund to buy back unwanted NFT items from players. This will be doubled in 5x on the corresponding days. The maximum tokens each day cannot exceed 1 million, plus 200,000 to the market pool. The total supply of watts is 2 billion, and since prices of the NFTs in the shop are inversely proportional to the number of players from the previous day, the token is neither inflationary nor deflationary. Half of the daily prize pool is split evenly among players. This is not some play for nothing while others play to earn. Everyone earns something, but the remaining prize pool will be split among the top 10% of participants. If 2 players are ever tied in rank, the player with the lowest mint number of their strongest NFT will decide who the winner is, giving priority to early minted NFTs. Once the project is live, you'll not be able to join unless you were an early investor, alpha, or beta tester, or you get a personal invite from one. Invites will come in the form of limited NFTs, which are earned each day from staking watts in the invitation pool. If someone you invited gets banned for violating that project's terms and conditions, your account will also be suspended pending an investigation. If your account is reinstated, your ability to invite players will be revoked. Influencers may be allowed to give out invites as prizes to their viewers in limited amounts for marketing purposes, and will be the only people not held accountable to this rule, but anyone they invite will be. If you would not invite someone to your home to play games with you or your family, then don't invite them to the project. This is another way to prevent being overrun by bots. Nothing is gained from inviting players to play with you except having them be a part of the community, which is why there is no incentive to mass invite people, such as multi-level marketing play-to-earn schemes I've seen in many projects. Players who stake watts in the voting pool will be rewarded each time they validate a player report of botting, exploiting, or completing a mission. Essentially, these validators are volunteers who are required to approve all actions before the smart contract can be executed to spot fraud, bots, or cheaters in exchange for a cut of the operating costs. Just like a proof-of-stake blockchain requires validators to agree on the status of the blockchain in order to process a block, nearly 100% of players' interactions with the blockchain will first require validation from live, human players. Players can vote for one time each day for each watt staked. The rewards are scaled by active players so that they increase as demand is needed. Once a report receives 10 out of 10 unanimous votes, it has been validated and the contract is executed. If there is one report that is not in line with the other 9, the single player's voting rights and staking rewards will be suspended for 3 days. If a 90% majority cannot be found, it will be sent for internal review by the team and the incorrect voters will be suspended for 3 days. You may think this is too severe of a punishment for someone who may not be a bad actor and simply made a mistake, or it is silly to do the job of the customer service team, but even if a project hires a team of people to evaluate each case, the players are still paying for it. This is also more prone to user error since it is not verified by 9 other people, or just not caring about the economy because it's just a job to them. It is really no different than requiring all players to complete a CAPTCHA to play a game, except that human beings are much better at spotting cheaters, bots, and exploiters than other bots are. They are also doing it voluntarily for additional rewards, which can potentially keep the funds inside the ecosystem, and because they care about the legitimacy of the community. When a player buys an NFT from the shop with watts to upgrade a specific VPC component, it will be one of 4 rarities: 85%, 10%, 4%, and 1%. If a player does not like the item they gained, they can burn it instantly and gain a portion of their tokens back to preserve the market value based upon the rarity, or sell it themselves in the NFT market. These tokens spent in the shop are divided evenly into 4 categories. 25% are burned, 25% are validator rewards, and 50% is split between the server upkeep and profit. Just kidding, instead of profit, there would be a gaming PC giveaway. Once this wallet reaches a high enough amount to cover costs, one wallet will be selected randomly of each tier of virtual PCs, and those players will win their VPC in real life. Since the burn is matched with these staking rewards, it keeps the token from becoming inflationary due to DeFi services. The project would utilize a liquidity pool instead of an exchange, so players can also stake their watts wax pair of tokens to help players cash in and out, collecting a small fee of both tokens each time it is used in the process. I found 2 other systems similar to the ones I proposed here that you may be interested in if you have made it this far. Buff uses in-game API to automate everything and requires players to run their software while playing the game in order to track this performance. I'm not sure how safe this is from botting, but I know that you can only redeem your playtime for in-game rewards and gift cards. It may also be hard for people in many countries to cash out, and the rewards are earned very slowly. Community gaming is another interesting project that was created to host tournaments using the Polygon, Ethereum, or Binance blockchain for payouts to winning players, which is much more like gambling than play to earn. However, they are coming out with a mission-based system similar to the one I have described. They have not published any information on their tokenomics that I have found so far, so it is all up in the air how their earning system will actually work, as well as how players' interactions will be authenticated. If we keep security and end-user quality of life at the forefront of design, instead of profits and forward-looking statements of making players into millionaires, I believe that a play-to-earn system superior to all others in terms of increasing player satisfaction and enjoyment is possible. The question is, what do you think? Am I crazy? Do the numbers not add up? I'm really open to constructive criticism here, as all of my research into this rabbit hole has led me to the same sour conclusion. Gamers are getting gamed, manipulated, and exploited due to their love of video games and desire to seek additional extrinsic rewards for their in-game achievements. That is all I have for you today. Don't forget to like and subscribe so we can do this again sometime.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing. Won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.